Warning! The Dub Talk podcast for the anime and manga series The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You will contain language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences, especially anything involving hakari, or hahari, or kusari, or pretty much anybody in the show, actually. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime and manga series, but most notably anime and manga spoilers for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Proceed with caution if you don't want to be spoiled, especially to the current number of Rentaro's girlfriends in the manga. Finally, the opinions expressed of those are of the individual participants of this episode, and our opinions of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You do not represent the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Okay? Okay. Anyways, grab your friends, grab your gals, and your gals can grab your gal friends too. We've all got a lot of love to give, a lot of love to share, and so little time to do so. Pucker up. It's time for the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Oh, fuck my throat. Hi there, my name is Andrew, last name redacted, because I'm on the internet and you don't need to know my personal information. I've been on the Dub Talk podcast for over 10 plus years, and I haven't gotten to do an episode about the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Loves You in all that time, even though I've been trying to do 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You Dub Talk episode for all those 10 years that a dub did not exist yet. But I always knew that it was in my heart and in my soul and in my destiny to find my soulmate and make you the podcast that you really love about the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Okay, so I have my fellow podcast co-hosts and fellow friends and partners and associates as part of this whole Dub Talk polycule. Joining me to my left is the cool, collected, high IQ Jetto.
What is this MILF? I mean, like, I don't understand. Mommy milkers, you say? Sorry, I don't get it. Like, why would you just get milkers from a cow? That doesn't make any sense.
See, that's the great thing about cows, is from the young or the old, there's milk coming out of all ends, and that's the fun part. Anyways, joining me for also a nice pair of wonderful, rich, supulous udders, we have Bibury.
Oh, Andrew, baby, you need to learn to slow down and just appreciate life for what it is. Take a little breather. Sounds like you're too horny, I mean.
And finally, joining us is the person who's not honest with their feelings, but is very loud all the while. That's Kaede.
Listen here, you little cocksucker. I'm gonna put your cock in a ring so tight that it'll have to come off when my holy matrimony mouth sucks it right off of your peener.
You know what? That does sound about right. That does sound like the exact level of tone we're going for. So yes, thank you all for joining us we have so much love to give, you guys, that I hope you all join the Dub Talk family.
Andrew died on the way back to his home planet.
Okay, I really commit you being able.
Sorry about that.
I commend you for being able to keep up the bit for that long. That was really commendable.
I want to point something out to you, Andrew.
No, I'm okay. I promise. There was a love god that took over my body briefly for a couple of minutes and possessed my soul, and it has just left my body. So I think we're gonna be fine for the rest of this episode.
So I should be.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Andrew, what did I tell you about the butt plug? You have to clean it before Satan possesses you.
Yeah, I hate that butt plug for that. It always gets a little bit of Satan juice in there. I don't know how that
Also,
happens.
hey Andrew, do you want to feel physical pain beyond your comprehension?
We did just do that disclaimer, and we did just do that intro, so at this point, anything's fair game.
Our podcast has been running longer than this manga has been being written.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's upsetting. Anyways, yeah, we have been doing this for a long time, and this is a silly little show I've wanted to talk about because I have always heard a bunch of really fun things about this particular show. I figured, okay, this might be fun to finally check out once it got an anime, and then it got an English dub. And sure enough, it's got one I want to talk about. So, we are here tonight to talk about the show, The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You.
Thank you for the Ace Ventura reference.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I really emphasize the really
Not
properly.
Not gonna
Andrew,
lie.
Andrew, if you do that again, I'm pretty sure you're gonna pop out of a rhino's ass.
Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Every time I heard the title of the show, Ace Ventura was not the first thing that came to my mind. It was Zoolander.
Also a valid pick, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hate that movie.
Then it's a poor pick. Good pick. I fucking hate that movie. Bad pick then.
More macaroni, less cheese. More cheese, less macaroni. I hate macaroni and cheese.
Great taste, less filling. Great taste, less filling. Thank you, Hardy.
Oh, God. Yeah, that sounds like a fucking conversation on Annie Twitter in general. Or Annie Sky? Annie Sky.
Annie Skeet.
Annie Skeets. Yes, Annie Skeets sound very inappropriate, but you know what? So is the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. We're here
Dear
to talk
viewer
about
at home, every time Andrew makes that noise, take a shot.
Alright, let's see if I can get you on the ass harder than you could say, take me, lover. Anyways, to say the plot, here's the plot of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Rentaro Aijo is a hopeless romantic. Emphasis on hopeless. Before starting high school, he'd already confessed to his love to 100 different girls and was rejected every time. But a trip to a local shrine of the god of love brings him good fortune. Sort of. Due to a clerical error in the heavens, Rentaro is indeed guaranteed to find that special someone. 100 of them, to be precise.
In a row?
He's destined... In a row. He is destined to have triple-digit soulmates, and it's up to him to find them all, cherish them all, and keep this love hectagon stable, lest disaster befall him and his many, 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 many loves.
Or they die.
Or they die horribly. That's the fun part. It's like, well, do I have to choose one? I mean, if you choose one, the rest die.
Andrew, I can't believe you didn't mention one of the most important parts of this whole thing. That the whole reason he has 100 soulmates is that the god was too busy watching Castle in the Sky.
Yeah! I forgot about that. The guy was like, sorry, it was an important day. I watched Castle in the Sky for the first time, and it was really good.
With the
and then I put the wrong...
What would the Christian American, equivalency this be? Oh, sorry, Timmy, I was too busy watching a dog's purpose that day.
Imagine it coming out that, Imagine it coming out you had no soulmate because the god of love was too busy watching Brokeback Mountain.
Now, Andrew, I'm very sure there's a little gay boy who's had that happen to him.
I'm sure there has. So, let the record show that tonight on the Dub Talk podcast, let's put it like this, there are some episodes where there's going to be sincere conversation, there's going to be serious conversation, and maybe a little bit of playfulness. I will say, there are serious conversations to have, and some that I think are willing to be had when it comes to a show like the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. But this is a silly fucking show. This is gonna be a silly fucking time. And we're gonna have a fun fucking time giving you a fun fucking time. So, where the fuck do I go with this? The answer is, I'm just winging this to the best of my fucking ability. All I know is,
tonight, for your enjoyment, we are going to reach around and give the dub of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You a nice hand job.
Honestly, let's put it like this. We are only human. We can only be as thorough, passionate, and embraceful as we are physically allowed to. We, as mere mortals, will never be as good as Rentaro Aijo. But we can damn well try our damnedest. So, let's move along and talk about the wonderful people that brought Rentaro Aijo and his family, ah shit, it's looping again, to life on the English language screen. So, starting us off with our ADR staff, we have our ADR director and assistant ADR director along with the scriptwriter for this little show. Our ADR directors are Helena Wallstrom and Kevin Thewell. And on scripts is one Macy Ann Johnson. You'll know Helena Wallstrom for directing such animes as Ayaka, My Tiny Senpai, My Clueless First Friend, Vampire Doratory, and Makine, Too Many Losing Heroines. Kevin Thewell has directed shows such as My Clueless First Friend, Beaufry Season 2, The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated, Classroom of the Elite Season 3, and Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. And Macy, you will know their delicate script work from series such as Cherry Magic. 30 years of being a virgin have given me, I forgot the full subtitles, but basically, Cherry Magic, he's a virgin for 30 years and now he can read minds for his gay love interest. The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. My Clueless First Friend, and Why Ray Liana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion. So, friends. Friends to lovers. Friends with benefits. Who would like to take the first move?
Sure. I think this sounds really good. I haven't listened to too much of Helena's stuff, but I was really impressed with the direction here. This was this is a really funny dub. Like, all the comedic timing was great. Everyone sounded really funny, and I thought the comedic timing for everything was really good. Given this show kind of runs on like perpetual serial escalation, I imagine it was probably a little bit of a talent to kind of, I guess, kind of help everyone keep a straight face while going through kind of increasingly absurd material. But everyone really sounded on point, and you can, and really help to kind of help buy into the, I guess, quote unquote believability of everything that was happening. And I think what's equally impressive is how well Helena and Kevin were able to balance that with some surprisingly good romantic stuff, because as an absurd comedy, this is also a romantic comedy, and the handful of times we do get some genuinely romantic stuff in the show, which also handled really well. And the fact that they could balance those two tones so well just really helped to make this standout dub. And equal praise goes to Macy with the scripts. Really good job handling the translation. Good job between punching things up every now and then, and not veering too far off. Though given how absurd the show already kind of is, I imagine it wasn't. I imagine it wasn't really too hard to not veer off too much in this case.
There's a fear of going too off the rails for certain anime series, but I'm gonna be honest. 100 Girlfriends is a show that goes so far off the rails that if you're not getting railed alongside it, then you're doing it wrong.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Literally, literally, if there's only one complaint I can make about the jokes, and I guess to be fair, I probably have to give grade to whoever did the cultural subtitles. But it's the one instance in the Hahari arc where the characters are kind of doing one of her cats. I don't remember what the exact setup was. I think it was like Nano was considering like attacking the cat, and I remember the subversive very specific joke was we can't do that. We'll get paid after us. And it ended up, it was like, oh man, we can't do this. We'll get the cat ladies after us, which is still pretty funny. But I mean, like, come on. But I mean, it's hard not to, prefer a bit of a pot shot to Peta. But literally, aside from that, really joke in the show was pretty spot on, and I thought the whole thing was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jamal.
Yeah, from the first time I watched this show, I was very amazed with the dub, especially with the cast in particular, because a lot of these people will talk about we don't see often together in a comedy like this, or like you don't see as much. I would say though the dynamic is very unique, especially when there are a few times some of the characters break the fourth wall. And we're not talking about him, but Jim Farada is the narrator. He really tickled my funny bone at a few points. Where at one point I had to stop. I forget which episode. I think 5 or 6. Where he made.
What's the setting?
Resident Hazard Kissage.
That's 8.
Oh,
that's
was
8.
7 and 8.
That's 8.
AKA
the single best episode of the fucking show.
8. You said?
Yeah.
As in
yes.
Resident Evil 8?
Oh my god.
I had to stop and Mr. Faranda, Jim, Claptrap. You can't just go and make a reference like that out of nowhere, man. You kind of caught me off guard a few points there, buddy.
I disagree. I think it is.
Whoa.
I think it is right to make as many references as he can.
Now hold on there.
Okay, now to be partially fair,
all right, wait. Stop. Can you stop for a second? I never said I disagreed with it. I just said it caught me off guard.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, to be like a little fair here, the Resident Evil joke was also in Japanese.
They just had to adapt it to Resident Hazard instead of Biohazard.
Yeah. I gotta love all those localization.
Yeah. So he did. He did a pretty good job. Hondo Washington, why I have seen a lot of other dubs. This is the first time we talk about her. I'm very glad because she started to become a tour de force in her own right now. Because I remember the first time I heard about her, like she was the engineer for both of me. I really liked her work there too. So seeing her in the director's chair was very unique.
Yeah, definitely Helena as one of like the full-time directors at Crunchyroll is definitely one of the newer hires for sure. I'd say probably like kind of I think one of the ones that actually became a full-time director back when they like before how do I put this? She joined on as a full-time director when the company was called Crunchyroll. There was a couple of people that were recently joined the company that it was still called Funimation. So she is like pretty new as far as like the first full-time directing stuff. But I've been pretty impressed with her work as well, I gotta say. And I've been very pleasantly surprised by some of her comedic works as well.
Yeah.
This one in particular.
Yeah. That combination along with basically Johnson script work, I thought was very charming. I'm amazed how well she was able, because normally when you going in between the fourth wall and the regular story, some parts of it could be a little easy, right? Some parts could be a little hard. But I appreciate how she managed to balance out things. My only nitpick, and this is with the show itself, because I was rewatching this. The first time I was watching it was very fun to watch, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. The second time, I noticed like some dialogue tends to be a little lost when two or more characters are speaking at the same time. But that's the show itself. But
I can really see what you mean.
Yeah.
There's a few characters that are very loud and screechy where it's sometimes hard to hear their dialogue. I get it.
Yeah, but the dub still went strong regardless. And I know the exact line you were talking about. It was a we could kick the cat in the rib cage. That's what you were talking about with Nano.
Yeah.
As an aside, Nano, what the fuck, girl?
Yeah. I mean, that's not efficient at all.
It's, in fact, the opposite of efficient. If anything, you'd want to, like, I don't know, chloroform the cat? I don't know why I'm giving their ideas for that. Anyways. Alright.
Hi, I'm Exist. Don't forget the only person with a vagina on here.
Hello, only person with the vagina. Would you like to tell us your thoughts?
Ding. So I think over like the last 10 years, I think a lot of people have come to realize that a lot of ecchi rom-coms, because this isn't ecchi, like, let's be real, people assume that I hate all of them or have a lot of problems with them, and my biggest thing to say off the top of the head is that a lot of ecchi just isn't my kink. It is just not made to appeal to a person with a vagina a lot of the times. Or identifies as female. However, in the show isn't flawless. There's a joke that I want to get out of the way that just does not hit for me, and that's the vice principal.
Oh,
yeah, like the vice principal stuff could just genuinely be cut out of the show, and I would not give a flying fuck. But I adored this show. I loved it a lot. This is probably some of the most fun I've had watching a show in a long time. Like, I was laughing my ass off to a lot of this, and a big part of it was the dub. I adore the cast of this. I think that it has a lot of actors that I like in other roles that don't get recognized a lot. Got introduced to a few, and then there's, like, the one very obvious, like, all-star that's on the cast, but she is very well complimented by everyone around her, and very much to the show's credit, the dub kind of does the same thing, is that no one girl feels more special in their performance than the other. And I think that really helps. I think that because of the way that the show is set up, that the direction taken on the show also reflected that. I honestly, like, I had heard the dub was good, but my expectations were over succeeded, in a sense. I was expecting a good time, not a something that is, wow, this could be a dark horse contender for me, given how strong a lot of other drama material came out in. And I'll be the first person to admit that I think I do have a personal bias to drama dubs over comedy dubs, because comedy dubs can be a lot more subjective. What's funny for one person isn't funny for another person. And while the same can be said for drama, I still think there are genuine things that people can come together on a drama point and be like, yeah, I cried to this too. Everybody cries to this. As opposed to comedy. A lot of Macy Ann Johnson's writing works really well. I don't know how much of this was ad-libbed. But that speaks to the actor's own comedic timing and Helena and Kevin's ability to let their actors act. One of my favorite little in-jokes that I apparently learned looking into material of this is that at one point Ian Sinclair just steps into the narrator at one point.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like they straight up just have Ian come and narrate at one point, and they even make a joke about where the hell is the narrator? I genuinely like a lot of little, like, gags and voice quality in here. There is one character in here I would say is absolute bullshit that they are the same person. Unfortunately, they are also my least favorite character.
100 Girlfriends is great because it is so... There are shows that are, like, afraid to let themselves divert from what works. 100 Girlfriends is a show that is not afraid to go from, hey, what about a horny girl and a tsundere? What about the quiet girl? Okay.
What about a girl who's doing methamphetamines?
What about a girl that accidentally failed to give herself immortality, and then turned herself into a Detective Conan little girl, and then also she made meth one time, and then she says she's the one who knocks.
I think in chat, I think the show was described as it's going to throw every dart at the dartboard, regardless if it hits the dartboard. And that's something that I appreciate about the show itself, and I really like about the dub. And I can 100% back up what Jamal said about Helena Wallstrom, is that while I haven't finished everything that she's done, I really need to go back to, like, say, Shy. I know she's the director for Shy. I did watch Machine earlier this year, and I would love to sit down and actually do an episode on Machine Too Many Losing Heroines. I think it's one of the best shows of last year. But that dub did something very similar to what this dub did, in that I feel like Helena's ability to take actors who have been around for a while, but maybe haven't gotten their due, and bring them to these shows to let them shine, is something that I feel like has been sorely missing from some other regions, and even some stuff in-house at CR. So I was just, like, genuinely, I adored this dub in this show. Like, it's hard to be mean to it, in a sense. Like, I just don't want to, like, suck its dick for the sake of sucking its dick. But I genuinely, like, I went in with expectations of, at least this will be funny. Not, wow, this is really good, and, like, it gives me a lot of good, happy hormones.
Very well said. And let the record show, Megan, if you are afraid about sucking the show's dick, I'm here to tell you that tonight, we are a team. If your mouth and your jaw get sore, guess what? All you have to do is tag one of us in, and we will take turns working the Rentaro shaft for you.
At least it's team dick sucking and not team horny human centipede.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, you never go ass to mouth.
Never go ass to mouth. Though here's the thing. We are mortal people. We are flawed human creatures. Not all of us can be perfect. If it meant for the happiness, prosperity, and good fortune of him and his 100 other partners, Rentaro Ijo would go ass to mouth, and he would say, "Thank you, ma'am. May I have some more?"
Oh god, Rentaro would willingly become a human centipede, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
For the sake of his family, he will do whatever it takes. He will sell his feet pics on the internet for the sake of his family.
All right. So our audience says that I'm afraid I must ask a very cursed question.
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
Okay, do you think Rentaro could successfully make Makima one of his girlfriends?
Oh boy.
Makima?
Oh! Makima Chainsaw Man. Do you think Rentaro Ijo could successfully court, romance, and possibly even change Makima Chainsaw Man for the better?
I think he could.
Ooh!
I think that Rentaro 100 Girlfriends could make Power take a shower.
Ooh! Ooh! You think Rentaro could make Howard take a shower?
I think Rentaro 100 Girlfriends.
Could
Rentaro 100 Girlfriends could get Kazuya Rag to change his ways.
Rentaro Aicho could make Kazuya Rent-A-Girlfriend turn into a fucking pastor.
I never said a pastor. That, you know what? He actually could change. Rentaro Aijo. I want to send You know how there's Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles where they have all of these characters just jumping into different like worlds based off of Clamp?
Yeah.
What if we took one Rentaro Aijo and gave him the ability to start jumping into anime to save anime women who deserve better?
So basically what you're saying is he could fix school days. Rentaro Aicho
Andrew, nothing's fixing that.
Rentaro Aicho can prevent the boat. Rentaro Aicho can prevent the boat.
Rentaro Aijo can prevent 9/11.
Okay, Megan. Okay, Megan. So what you're telling me is Rentaro Aijo could convince Sakura to finally get that divorce.
Yes!
Yes!
Rentaro Aijo could marry Sakura and make her a happier woman.
Rentaro Aijo could save Rudius's 3 wives from Rudius.
Oh, this has so much material. There's so much material. And the answer is...
Rentaro Aijo would have gotten Fiona out of the tower and the dragon too.
Rentaro Aicho is Shrek and Donkey at the same time. Shonky.
Shonky? Shrunky?
Shonky.
Shrunk. You know how, okay, I'm sorry we've derailed this. You know how in Metal Gear fandom, the Snake and Otacon, ship name is called Snoticon, right?
I do know about Snoticon, yes.
Okay, can we agree that Shronky is the Shrek X Donkey? Yeah, we did?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the morning, I'm putting cream on your waffles.
Oh my god.
Alright, I think this episode is all ogre now. Thank you for joining, everybody. We are the Dumb Talk Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Okay.
Donkey. I need you to get in my swamp.
I'm shocked you have not pulled the "This is my swamp" card now.
No, that's what Shrek says as he comes into Donkey's asshole.
I think we should move on.
You know, okay, viewer.
There's a disclaimer.
Or actor.
I'm sorry to everybody who's acted on this show.
Hey, if you are a viewer of the podcast, you know what the deal is. If you are a fan of the show 100 Girlfriends, guys, you watched 100 Girlfriends, how are you surprised? And if you are an actor or director who has worked on the 100 Girlfriends who really, 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 really love you, hey, thanks for sticking around. We hope you enjoy yourself. We hope you have a good time. Thanks for tuning in.
And if you're my parents or a $5 Patreon, you know what you got into when you adopted me.
And with that, all I will say is pretty much echoing what everybody else has said. This is a really fucking fun show, and this is a really good dub. And both the show and the dub should not work. This is a show that should not work. Yet, for many reasons that we will discuss throughout the discussion of tonight's episode, it does in fact work. And so does the dub. A lot of the actors and performers. There's a couple of people who are in the show who I've been wanting to see get more recognition for a long time that are playing some really funny roles that I really think deserves highlighting and accolades. And yeah, holy shit, Macy Ann Johnson. I've been adoring her script work both for dramas and comedies for the past while now. Megan, I think we talked about in the past that like Macy's work kind of reminds us similar to like Jamie Markey's work.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
And I definitely say this is the kind of like irreverent, outrageous, like horny comedy show that like that style really shines.
I really hope that her and Monica's thesaurus for boobs and ass somehow survive the transport from the old funny office to the Crunchyroll office, because the fact is that is a thing that exists.
Speaking of the thesaurus for boobs, I love that Rico Fajardo was given 30 minutes in the booth to say boobs in as funny and ridiculous ways as possible for like a few minutes, and then he's like, I got you, fam.
I'd also like to say, as about to take away from, not to take away from your other point, hey, you dub fans, we didn't deserve Jamie Markey. We never did. Y'all are fucking, to those of you who ran her off, fuck you.
Well said. Well said. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, I am making an executive decision for tonight. There are usually, for the sake of
Oh
time
shit,
and
Andrew, I didn't
discussion-
realize you got a promotion. Listen, I'm not allowed to call you a secretary anymore. My mom yelled at me for that.
Wait, okay, hold up, what?
Okay, look. Okay, alright. At the risk of Andrew punching me in the face the next time we meet him. Okay, to be fair, he's been screwing his way to the top for quite a while now.
What, like 5-6 years now, man?
And
Listen-
to many more! To many more, I will screw my way to the top.
See, no, I'm not.
wish you a merry school week. We wish you a merry school week. We wish you a merry school week. And too many more.
Okay, to be fair, I legitimately called Andrew our secretary in the car to my mom, and she said that was demeaning. They prefer to be called administrative assistants.
I was administrating a lot last night.
Jesus Christ!
Anyways, as I was
Okay,
saying...
so explain to everybody who doesn't know or has never met my mother before. My mother is an administrative assistant. No, she did not screw her way to the top of anything. I'd rather not think of the idea of her and my father ever doing that thing.
Anyways, for those who do not know, the boss lady of the Dub Talk podcast is also my lovely significant other partner, Stephanie. I love her very much.
I fucked the jail warden.
I wish I could be half the man to her that Rentaro Aijo is to Hakari Hanazono, Karane Inda, Shizuka Yoshimoto, Nano AI, Kusuri Yakuzen, and Hahari Hanazono. Boom! Nailed it in there.
For reasons I wish I could explain, I'm already half the man.
Alright, so I have made the decision that the Rentaro family is too important and too much of a familial unit to possibly separate. So, we're just going to talk about all of them together. And the reason I am recording this episode on the following date of January 12th, 2025, because if we don't record this tonight, this is going to be a bitch and a half for future editors to try and get more girls in this episode. So, we're doing it with the first season while it's still manageable. So, starting us off, Rentaro Aijo is the poor, love-struck fool that got lucky and is getting lucky with 100 significant others and is trying to keep them all alive and happy and healthy. Hakari Hanazono is girlfriend number 1. She is voluptuous in all the right ways. She has creamy, thick thighs that are like to die for, and she's also a little bit of a freak. Bless that little freak. Karane Inda, Rentaro Aijo's girlfriend and also Hakari Hanazono's girlfriend. Karane Inda is a tsundere that is not honest with her feelings, taken to the utmost nth degree. She is insecure about her chest, she has really cute pigtails, and also she is doing her best and can kick your ass and call you a bitch and drink your Pepsi. Shizuka Yoshimoto has done nothing wrong in her entire life. She is a good little girl that is doing her best. She is very shy and insecure and very much has trouble publicly speaking to other people, but she can and willingly recite her favorite romance novel to her heart and pick the right passages whenever needed for any personal conversation. She tends to communicate with a telephone because Rentaro Aijo is better than most mortal men. Nano AI is she is very robotic, and you can tell this author really likes their puns because, yes, Nano AI does imply that she is a robotic Nano AI person. She is very efficient, she is a top student, she is very cold, but also she's a good girl, she has a lot more feelings than she lets on, and also she cools down by reciting pi. Kusuri Yakuzen is cursed beyond hell itself. She is a little gremlin child that is actually a voluptuous third-year student that failed giving herself immortality and then accidentally Detective Conan'd herself into having a little petite body that she prefers because it fixed her eyesight because she doesn't like having glasses on. And she can get more efficient things done, but now she looks like a child, and also she wears diapers because she is too busy experimenting to go to the bathroom. And Hahari Hanazono is Hakuri's crazy MILF of a mother who is probably very problematic of an age gap, but you know what? I still would.
God, the illusion of free will.
What was that fucking picture you posted earlier in the chat? Okay, here it is. Age gaps and she's my girlfriend's mom. Mommy milkers. The illusion of free choice, and then in the middle it's I'm gonna fuck her, and it's fucking Rentaro Ijo as the cow.
Oh, hey Jet and Jamal, guess what?
What?
I made an upgraded version of that image.
Oh, you bitch! You bitch! You bitch!
You know, it's kind of weird because the day before this recording, I was watching YouTube in between, and I see something pop up on the algorithm from Watch Mojo, of all people. It was about a 30 anime you probably should watch in your own privacy, and up came the thumbnail was a screenshot of Hakuri just making the lewd face.
My God.
That doesn't even narrow it down. That could be any episode.
I wish I knew what episode it was, but I'm not gonna watch.
I'm gonna be real. If you're one of these, if you've watched the show with your mother, you're God's strongest soldier.
I mean, look, I have gone to explicitly R-rated movies with my family, and like I have looked my mother in the eyes afterwards. I saw The Wolf of Wall Street with my family, and I had to sit next to my mother during the scene where he got a candle shoved up his ass.
Would you watch this with your mother?
No.
Pussy.
Okay. I mean, I could watch it with my mommy, GF. Does that count?
No.
Damn. All right.
It's gotta be.
Anyways.
It's gotta be with the cooter you came out of.
There really is no proper segue for any of this. I either have to just humor the aggressive escalation of these bits or just pretend they're not happening. I'm gonna choose that they're not happening. Just like the show itself. You are right.
Look at Jet being a good friend.
Thank you, Jet. I mean, he did just say I screwed up to the top, so he knows how it goes. Anyways, let's talk about who plays the Rentaro family. Rentaro Ijo is one Travin Moline. Hikari Hanazono is Sarah Wiedenhef. Karine Inda is Ariel Graham. Shizuka Yoshimoto is Sarah Ragsdale. Nana AI is Cassie Uwalu. Kusuri Yakuzen is Lindsay Shepard. And Hahari Hanazono is Corey Petit. Is it Petite or Petit?
Petit.
Okay.
Petit.
Petit? Okay. Corey Petit. But in this show, it's Corey Petit.
Andrew!
Good.
What? What? Look at those mommy milkers. Anyways, Travis Moline has played characters such as Sable in The Dawn of the Witch, Roy in Kamikatsu, Masuo Takayumi in Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable, Nijiro Nanase in Blue Lock, and Anya Kudo in The Ones Within. Sarah Wiedenhef has played many characters such as Aika Sube in Gonna Be the Twin Tail, Aika Tenkubashi in Shomin Sample, Non Toyoguchi in Keijo, Toru in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and just because we brought her, Power Chainsaw Man in Chainsaw Man, who could in fact be convinced to take a shower because Rentaro Ijo is just that good. And Ariel Graham has played characters such as Connie Christensen in Hanabado, Juliet in Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, Momoko Fuyuki in Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable, Mao in Hinamatsuri, and Samadare Ashihina in Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Sarah Ragsdale.
Pouring out for that adaptation.
Yeah. But hey, lead girl in Lucifer is still pretty cool.
Someday we'll get Spirit Circle.
Someday you'll get Spirit Circle. Sarah Ragsdale has played characters such as Saya Endo in Dagashikashi, Yuki Minagawa in Suraduri Children, Michaela McFarland in Reign of the Seven Spellblades, Ayaka Sunahara in Miss Caretaker of Sunahara-san, and Mei in Bofuri. Cassie Uwalu has played characters such as Naomi Orthman in Metallic Rouge, Okita in Hensuki, Nuragai in Hell's Paradise, Granite Nitakita in Tales of Wedding Rings. Yes, the furry half-cat girl character in Tales of Wedding Rings is named Granite Nitakita.
We are the crystal waifus.
And Cecilia Dote in Gundam Witch from Mercury is a character with way more fan art than there is screen time. Kusuri Yakuzin is played by Lindsay Shepard, who has played Sumire Kasahara in My Clueless First Friend, Lily Amane in The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devils, Erica Amano in A Couple of Cuckoos, Claire Francois in I'm in Love with the Villainess, and Akari Watanabe in More Than a Married Couple, But Not Lovers. And Corey Pettit has played characters such as Sawa Sugimoto in Kageki Shoujo, Sachi Sachi Takamiya in More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers, Vanessa Aldis in Reign of the Seven Spellblades, Colette Laurie in Wisteria Wand and Sword, and Ray Saiga, aka Saiger Zero, in Shangri-La Frontier. Alright, so, for the sake of some sense of organization, I think we can sort of section these off for a little bit, but I will leave the jury to decide who we talk about first.
I was gonna say I think the best thing to do would probably just be to go from like last introduced to all the way up to Rentaro.
Okay, who wants to talk about problematic mommy milkers?
I call dibs diving in.
All right, Megan has gotten the swan dive into the mommy milkers first. The tits are yours.
Okay, first of all, I was gonna say this about Hakari, but I guess this can also apply to her mom. Haruhi and Hakari have boobs with the physics of a Gohan show and the force of a freight train.
The boobs hit so hard they would have impact frames.
The boobs are so big they have their own hitbox in a fighting game. And I say that as somebody with big old titties. Listen, I like a lot of stuff that Corey Pettit's in. I love Kageki Shoujo, and I think Sawa is a great character. That's probably my biggest frame of reference of characters that they have been. Mostly because I need to finish a lot of other shows. Oh, that's right. Oh, so this is where Ara went when she killed herself.
I was gonna say that's my biggest frame of reference.
Yeah, Jet, one day I'm gonna hold you down and make you watch Kageki Shoujo.
I have seen most of Kageki Shoujo. I think I think the dub is the thing.
Look, recommend or die is always a thing.
Yeah. What? Also, so something I also learned. Did you know that Corey Pettit apparently plays Hel Mazaria in the Galaxy Express 999 Eternal Fantasy film?
I'm not surprised to hear that.
That makes a lot of sense. She's also Raido's mom. So, oh yeah, and Jet, because this is your boss. She's also the anime version of your boss at A&N.
What?
Yeah, isn't the character from My Hero Academia You're Next, Deborah, literally just Lindsay from A&N?
Oh, I forgot. She's the goth mafia mommy in the My Hero movie.
Yeah, that's just Jet's boss.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I did that actually would describe Lindsay pretty well.
She made the joke herself! I love Corey as problematic mommy milkers. So just I love how threatening and cold she is, but the second she gets, to use the Hotel Transylvania terminology, the zing. Yeah, that's right, baby. If you thought Shrek was the only movie for children that I'm gonna ruin tonight, we got one coming that's worse.
I have seen plenty of horny pornographic art of Dracula's daughter, so that's fair.
Yeah, but where's the horny art for Adam Sandler's Dracula?
No, where's the horny art for Adam Sandler's dad, played by Mel Brooks?
That's gonna be 8 crazy nights if we get some. No, I like Corey's performance a lot. Corey's a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see what she's gonna get to do in season 2 as this problematic, terrible mother who is trying to fuck her own daughter's man. Let's be real. If the character we're probably gonna talk about next didn't turn you off from the show, this is probably the character that would.
I do have to respect, like, if there are people who are genuinely uncomfortable with
like,
either Kusari...
I was gonna save it when we got to Kusari, but, like, yeah, if you're uncomfortable with the idea of, like, age gap romance and some of the stuff that goes on with Kusari, like, I'm not gonna judge you. Again, like we said, this is a show where everything is thrown at the dartboard, and if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I like the performance a lot. I think it has its heartfelt moments. I also think that Corey does good sex noises.
Oh my god, she sounds so fucking hot.
Corey sold the dressing Rentaro up as a girl, and I genuinely thought they were doing the deed. I was like, holy shit, she is hoovering his soul out.
To which I suppose in a way it does make this slightly less problematic in a sense, but also I do, but I do have to say, as much as I enjoy the show, I do have to call out the weird cowardice of like, oh, well, you see, she actually had Valkyrie through artificial insemination. Like, come on.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah. Also, bitch, you can freeze sperm.
I'm going to operate under the assumption...
MTV called, they want their teen mom back.
I'm going to operate under the assumption that the author of 100 Girlfriends can get away with a lot, but I'm guessing there was at least an editor or two that had a thing to say about, did she have sex at 13? And I guess somebody had to stop it and say no.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, we don't want to piss off our overlords too hard here. But no, I think the thing that works about Corey's performance is that she is able to go from the cold, abusive, calculating version to the, oh dear, like, oh no, I'm in love with him, and just the fucking lie detector seat scene.
Oh, the lie detector scene is so fucking good. It just the pure comedy gold of, what if we throw a tsundere in a 100% accurate lie detector? Is just comedy gold.
Yeah.
Also, just God, you just want to swan dive into her life.
Yeah. I think one of my personal favorite bits was like, we got the really dramatic backstory to narrative. Like, oh, he's had this really hard life. How will she respond to Rentaro? Like, how will she respond to fighting feelings for Rentaro after all this time? And immediately just
Rentaro, baby, please go out with me.
Oh man, that was like my favorite scene in that entire episode, because it kind of gave me Elizabeth Maxwell vibes, the way she just blurted that all of a sudden. I was getting flashbacks to.
As an aside, you know what I realized?
What?
I know a little bit about the future of 100 Girlfriends, including some of the future girlfriends that may or may not come up in season 2. And I'm realizing there's a consistency there. The reason that the sparks have not flown yet with Rentaro and Meido is because she keeps her eyes closed all the time.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, they actually have to make eye contact, because the first time the two of them look at each other, his eyes are fucked up.
They're fucking they're dilated Sharingans or mission.
Mission
They
Impossible
dilated the
gods.
Cruisagon.
Yeah, like, let's be real. Corey's great in this. I think I can't wait. It's the thing, it's like, she's really good in her episodes, but I want to see, like, her eat the scenery. Like, she eats the scenery in this, too. Like, I don't know who is in this show isn't eating the scenery that isn't, Shizuka. And maybe AI. But, like, everybody else, it's like, we have taken a you know those, like, comically large ham bones that you see in cartoons?
Oh, like the fucking turkey legs, yeah.
Yeah, we have put one on a string and lowered it into a pit of acting crocodiles. Be free.
Be free.
Anyway, I'm gonna let somebody else take over. I think I've gotten all I could say out.
So, if I wanted to just say, there's one thing I genuinely am surprised about when it comes to Hahori as a character, is the show convinced me of her drama. Okay, not the part that she artificially inseminated herself with her dying boyfriend's sperm. That's a little absurd, and 100 girlfriends. No. The drama of feeling guilty that she has fallen in love with somebody else and moving on from her former love dying and no longer being here. And that being something that the show treats genuinely seriously and sincerely, and like, no, just because you are in love does not mean you have stopped loving who came before. That doesn't mean you have to stop loving them or forget about them. That love is important. That love was important to you, and you should cherish that love for the rest of your life. And it's like, wow, fuck. Yeah, that hits. That hits. Retro Ijo in the show knows when to be sincere, honest, and fucking real when it wants to be. And okay, if I may also reveal something to you for a second, All.
Okay, go ahead.
Half of the reason I want to do this episode, there's two big reasons I want to do this episode. One of them was I want to do this before season 2, so we wouldn't have to do 2 whole seasons, and that would give us more work. Secondly, I felt obligated to do a 100 Girlfriends episode as a thank you to one Nicholas Dupree. I would never have picked this up if it was not for Nicholas Dupree, former A&N writer and LossThief on Twitter. Because genuinely, this is the type of show I would have been like, that seems weird and stupid. But like, that is a person that knew how to sell the show and sell a bunch of things, like on Twitter. Man knew shonen, man knew anime, man knew music, man knew sports, man knew a lot. And before this episode, I made sure to read every single review that Nicholas wrote for the 100 Girlfriends Season 1. And there is a level of that, this is a ridiculous show, this is an insane show, but he understood the sincerity and the warmth and, like, why this is such an earnest show that nails it when it needs to, and I'm genuinely glad that he convinced me to watch something like this. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of thank and honor his work for a minute and say thank you. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Which, look, that does sound like it could be a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, I almost feel it's as much of an honor to talk about the rest of 100 Girlfriends after the somber tribute, and then immediately talk about Kusuri and her creating methamphetamine canonically, and then pissing her diaper.
Everybody else has to give their thoughts on the mom.
Fair enough, I just wanted to say. God damn it! Hakari is so problematic, and I shouldn't be okay with this, and I shouldn't be getting on microphone and saying, yes, that is problematic that a 30-year-old woman is dating a 15-year-old teenager. Yes, I should be telling you that. Yes, I am a hypocrite for criticizing other shows with similar problematic stuff. That being said, it's really fucking hot, okay? What do you want from me?
Again, this is a show where, like, if there's definitely certain parts of it that don't click with you, it's perfectly understandable. But for me, I can kind of roll with, like, the weird, just insane level of escalation that exists within this, and after a certain point, I just kind of, like, learned to embrace it.
The show when it needs to be cartoon land, and then the show knows when to be real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Hahari's absurd enough conceptually that you can kind of suspend the disbelief a little. And Corey is excellent. She's really cool. She's really funny. And oh my god, she has really good not sex noises.
Yep.
Look. Sometimes a voice actor just sounds really fucking hot, okay? Okay? They know it, you know it, we know it. I am just brave enough to say it on a microphone in front of people that might actually go back and hear this. Alrighty. Anyways, Jamal, do you have any other things to say about Mama Hakari? Or Mama Hahari?
I think I said most of what I wanted to. I really liked Corey's performance. As I definitely did a really good job getting the mommy energy across really well, and
100%.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I enjoy Corey Perez as an actress. She's very good, very comedic what she does, and when we discussed another show, you really get to see the comedic side of her. But I think that moment when she confesses her love for Rentaro out of the blue kind of reminds me of Elizabeth Maxwell at the end of Seven Mortal Sins, where
oh God.
Yeah, to the point I would get the two confused on basis. I mean. Even whoever was directing season 2 Girlfriend realized that.
I believe that was Jonathan Rick.
Yeah, it was very spot on, and that's how I know Corey to be. And in this show, she was very unique in this role, playing a MILF. Jesus Christ, playing a MILF like this. My God, man.
Look. I may be on team eat the rich, but just this one time I will eat the rich out.
Somehow I knew that was coming.
They're gonna be coming a lot more by the end of this series, let me tell you.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
I'm back.
Hey, Megan, welcome back. Now that you're done taking the piss, it's time to talk about the piss girl.
Oh, God damn it.
I was literally workshopping that as soon as it said BRB gotta pee. I'm like, oh, that's how I'm gonna bring her back in.
You know what? It's time to ruin childhoods.
Let's ruin childhoods. The floor is yours. And
Okay.
then you're gonna have to clean up the floor afterwards.
Stop! I didn't sign up for water sports. So, first of all, Lindsay Shepherd, you have no right. Absolutely no right to have Kurisu go from tiny, adorable baby child voice to fucking sexy lady voice. That's illegal. That's absolutely illegal. I love you in More Than a Married Couple, but not lovers. But girl, what the fuck? I do have to say this. So you know her little tick of saying yep, right?
Yep.
Okay. So apparently that was something that was kept over from, I think, like, the Scanlation or something?
Yeah, I was talking to a guy about that, and he mentioned that that was a joke in the scans. I'm like, ooh, wow, that's a deep cut.
See, my brain didn't know that.
I also did not know that either, so yeah.
My brain decided to go somewhere else, and that was to my childhood in a little movie called The Land Before Time. Because every time she said, yep, I was like, no, you stop that, piss ducky. Piss ducky. That is my nickname for Kurisu, is just piss ducky. Kurisu is not my favorite character. I do not like, this is just a no thing for me in the Kinks department, and just in a character thing. I do not mind if a character is childish. I do not like infantilized characters. So like, when a teenage or grown-ass woman, starts putting like diapers and pacifiers on themselves and talks about wearing their diapies, you know, like in Rugrats, that was when my brain hit the nope on that situation. But Lindsay Shepherd, how dare you?
She is really good.
Like, her range in just that character alone is some satanic shit.
I know, right?
It's a good thing she's a devil in the Devil Show. Wait, is he an angel or a devil? I didn't watch that one.
I don't know, but just like,
look, Kusuri can be your angle or your devil.
Yeah.
But at least she wants to be your little sister more.
Watch it turn out she's not even into, like, siscon play, and she's just like, oh, that's uncomfortable. I'm not about that. Now, who's into scat?
Yeah. Okay. As weird and kind of uncomfortable as the diaper jokes are, I do have to give Lindsay credit for one very specific line read that I'm just really impressed with.
What?
Okay, the fact that she just managed to say, like, to her credit, and in the sultry as possible, it's about playing this entirely straight. Just saying, I need to change my diaper as sultry as possible is just like, that sent me to orbit.
I also admire her talking about the crystal meth that she made, and she mentioned that she's the one who knocks. I'm like, okay, you went with it.
Also, Lindsay's ability to take it 100% seriously with Kurisu's guilt over hurting people.
Yep.
That's the thing that 100 Girlfriends is good at, is that it actually does succeed at taking itself seriously when it wants to. And the setup is, hey, this is an episode where everybody is a kiss-obsessed little freak zombie raptor girl.
Kissu.
God. This is a fucking ridiculous show, man.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, if we get further into the anime or get further into the manga, there's probably going to even be characters that even push past Kusuri's level of, like, going a bit much. If I did a wiki dive now, it wouldn't surprise me if there is just, like, 1,000-year-old lolly vampire unironically as one of
Not
Rentaro
yet.
Ijo's. Not yet! But here's the thing. We got time. The manga is 200 chapters in, and we have gotten to 31.
I will forever maintain my stance that the 100th girlfriend will be some version of Cthulhu.
No, do you want to hear what my theory is for the 100th girlfriend?
What is your theory of the 100th girlfriend?
A gender swap version of Rentaro from another universe.
Oh, no.
No, listen.
No, she's cooking! She's cooking!
Bitch, let me cook! Listen, man. Rentaro has to learn that the greatest love that he could give is not the love he gives to all the others, but the love of himself. And what would be better than eating your own alternate version's muff?
You know what? Fuck it. We nailed it. We figured it out. The ultimate lesson for 100 girlfriends. It's not just the love you give to others. It is the love you give yourself. So the final girlfriend will be alternate universe Rentaro Aijo. 100%.
God, what the fuck is the orgy gonna look like on the wedding night? The silence is deafening.
Man, they're probably gonna have to rent out a stadium for the wedding venue.
I think they're gonna need to. I think they're going to need they're gonna need somebody to with hazmat suits after that night is done.
They're gonna rent out the Tokyo Dome. It's gonna be like Quagfest from Family Guy when Quagmire gets his 1000th conquest. It's gonna be like an idol show for Rentaro only with all 100 girlfriends in the Tokyo Dome. And then it's gonna part like the Red Sea. And a giant bed's gonna come up with every toy, lube, water, crackers. There's gonna be a maid staff.
It was, on record, the wildest, horniest, most explicit 20 hours in human history. He did not stop until everyone was finished.
And then the World Cup happened in Blue Lock.
Rentaro Aijo could give birth to the winning U20 team for the Blue Lock.
Rentaro Aijo could make the Blue Lock boys take a bath.
Okay, for a second I thought you were going to say Rentaro Aijo can make the Blue Lock boys straight, and I'm like, let's not get crazy. He can't. He's not God. He is a man among men.
Andrew, why would they be straight? He would just marry all of them.
Yeah.
So back to Piss Ducky.
I'm sorry that we talked about having gay sex or having sex with yourself. Let's talk about the girl that pisses herself and also made meth. Lindsay Shepard's really good. I don't have a lot to say. This is also kind of on the lower tier of characters for me, but fuck is this character ridiculous, and goddamn is this performance ridiculous and very, very funny.
Yeah.
So,
I really enjoyed Lindsay as this character, because for one, there was a moment where she and Rentaro had a little magnetism problem that kind of gave me one of Rentaro's funniest moments the entire series.
It's a good thing I didn't do this upside down, or we would have been there would have been 69 problems.
That's not the moment I was talking about, but we'll get to that with Rentaro.
Okay.
But I really did like that duality, and yeah, bullshit. That was also Lindsay's the true version of herself, because wow, that is a voice I was not expected to hear out of them, and yeah, you're right, Jet. That whole thing with the baby talk and the diaper, I was like, wait, and then I had to rewind, and it's one of those things that kind of replayed, well, just to replay, not to understand, but it was kind of hilarious and awkward at the same time, but yeah, a character like this can be a little grating. I don't mean the voice, I mean just the character itself, but Kusuri loves experimenting, loves drugs, wants to experiment with meth, but yeah, that's not this kind of show right now.
Also, disclaimer, please don't ever actually experiment with methamphetamines. It's a bad time.
We here at the Dub Talk Podcast do not condone the literal production and consumption of methamphetamines. I don't think we had to we don't have a disclaimer for that one. Meth does not usually come up on anime Dub Talk episodes, I gotta say. So,
Which is weird because
I was gonna say it's probably too much work, but I feel like in the spirit of this show, every mention of meth in this episode should be censored.
That's too much
Oh,
work.
Jackson.
Oh. Oh well. So, that being said, Jet, you want to talk about the one that you said was your girl?
I mean, I didn't say my girl's with I mean, she's not my explicit favorite, but I would rank her pretty highly, and yeah, I really liked. I really like Cassie as Nano. Really good job playing up the whole like stoic robot girl thing. It was really funny. Like my biggest frames of reference for Cassie are mostly like the characters he plays in Metallic Rouge and Eddie Guttenborough, who's just like on that couch constantly. And she was great. She was great in those, but I really liked her. She had some really good comedic chops. Just like having to play this character ridiculously straight, which that's how it's make her really hilarious. How she just has like this really blunt reaction to basically everything, which is just it's perfect.
It's basically the Ice Queen gimmick taken to its logical escalation, where sometimes it's like, oh, you have a cut. It would be inefficient to go to the nurse right now. Quick, let me suck on it because I have healing germs in my mouth. Which, like, Rentaro actually teases her about. He's like, oh, did you lick that handkerchief? No, I washed it. Oh, I legitimately just assumed you just licked that handkerchief to clean it. I'm like, did you just tease her?
And once again, in keeping with the spirit of this show, being able to do like genuine romance surprisingly well, like the whole love story between them and like Retro kind of teasing her to find more enjoyment in the little experiences and indeed romance was just that whole bit was surprisingly sweet.
It's basically about, like, you could try to fight your urges about there is no point, there is no meaning in the little things, but the reality is, it sounds crude to say Rentaro is telling her to go touch grass and live your life, but he's basically telling her the little things in life are what make a life worth winning, not the big goals and the conquests. The real love we made was the friends we made along the way.
And I also gotta say, like, it's less of a performance thing and more just like, and more just something I really appreciate about it now. When push comes to shove, good on her for defending Hakari during that whole bit in the swimsuit episode where like those creepy dudes showed up.
Oh, she goes for the eye. She was ready to kill.
Oh yeah, no, good for her.
Oh yeah.
The nice thing about this show is that this is not a harem show where you can tell everybody's trying to step over each other to become the alpha bitch. They're all in this together, and they're all here to help each other out and be each other's cheerleaders.
Because they're family.
Because they're actually family. This is a harem where I actually believe... Look, you know how I've joked about you could cut the middleman, you could cut the harem middleman and just let the girls get together? This is a show where not only do I believe the wives should get with the guy, and do I believe the wives would get with each other.
Because
they
it's
are
happening.
already getting with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there is no curiosity by the end of this Spy Curiosity show. It is just by. So yeah, Cassie is really fun. Like, she is somebody who has definitely been getting much bigger roles as of late, and I'm really happy for her to especially get to be in a fun little comedy, like raunchy comedy show like this, playing what is effectively, yeah, just the sort of like aggressively straight character, and just that leads to some funny reactions while also having heartfelt moments. While also making me believe, oh yeah, I do believe this quiet, stoic girl is down atrocious.
She's the one that I would believe. Yeah, she's the one that I believed could actually, kill somebody and hide the body.
Yeah.
She would watch Breaking Bad not to learn meth like Kusari. She would watch Breaking Bad for how to properly dispose of bodies, and would know that you do not put the acid in a porcelain tub. You put it in a plastic bucket. That's how you do it. And then Retros be like, why was that why you watch Breaking Bad? Because. Also, I love when she gets to play around with her hair, and she gets to just grab Rentaro and, like, forcefully, like, make out with him, and he's like, oh, I think this is awakening something new inside of me. Dude is such a lady killer. Holy shit. Like, we talk about, like, the Chad Riz is what the kids like to say, but, like, Rentaro Ijo has and will continue to get it. But yeah, Cassie is a ton of fun as this character. I really like them. She's also very, like, pretty and emotional. Like, she sounds very pretty and, like, affectionate, too. And oh, also, I love when she's a zombie and she literally just, like, slams her face through the door and she gets to do the oh my god, why am I
The Shining.
The bit for
she
the
gets to do the
Shining.
Shining thing. Kissy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was pretty good. Cassie was a ton of fun as Nano. I also really like Nano. I'd definitely say she ranks. She is a. Megan made a tier list by the start of this, by the way. I'll say that. So we have her full definitive tier list.
My tier list. She's in my A category.
So I think that makes her top 3.
She's my number 3.
Okay.
Jamal, you want to go first, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really like Cassie's take on this character. It's not a tone of voice I hear often. Yeah, she's usually a little more comedic or a little more upbeat. So to have her play this type of character is very unique, especially when she has to spout off like certain scientific words like asinine and what she's reciting pi to just clear her mind.
Ladies, you ever been so horny you just recited all the digits of pi?
And I thought, oh, I love American Pie.
Yeah, yeah, but she was pretty good in this. I knew about the whole Shining reference, but I didn't completely understand with the movie credits at the quote end there. But she was a delight as this character.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yep.
I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. In game.
Sexy piss ducky is just... I can't unsee it, and that's what makes it so blurst. The 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you is probably the most blessed and cursed, let's say, blurst anime to ever exist.
So one of the things I love in this, they call it Resident Biohazard. Listen, it's not. It's fucking Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic Park, and her as the Alpha Raptor is just kiss. Just, I love that they all just talk in the word kiss in their various tones, and it's so great. I like Cassie's performance a lot. Cassie does a good job of... It's very much the stoic but not emotionless thing that a lot of people don't really get, but she does. I think I would like to see her get another episode to herself. To kind of flesh out more, because unfortunately after her own episode, I felt like she did kind of fade into the background unless it was time for violence. Like I said, Nano could kill a man and she'd get away with it. But I liked the performance a lot. I thought it rounded out the group very well. Can I please go first for this next part?
The floor is yours to talk about what I believe is your best.
Rentaro doesn't have best girls, but I do, because I'm a filthy heathen, and Shizuka is the best character in the show. I did not expect episode 3 to hit me in the gut. It was genuinely a very touching episode of this girl who is a selective mute who talks only through a book. Who's also been made fun of her whole life, even by her own mom. to finally have this moment, and she kind of thinks that she's never gonna have a chance. But gentlemen, if you're listening here, the fact that Rentaro hand translated the entirety of her book that she talks with into a text-to-speech app for her is one of the most genuinely touching things I've ever seen a male anime character do for a female anime character, and it was in this fucking show.
It was in the show about the man who has 100 girlfriends because God fucked up.
In the show where a 18-year-old, a 16 to 18-year-old girl talks about wearing diapers, and a girl got pregnant at 13. I love Sarah Ragsdale's performance as Shizuka. I genuinely thought it was a different voice for her text-to-speech. I thought it was Monica Rial. I genuinely thought it was Monica Rial as the text-to-speech. And when you're like, no, that's just Sarah, I was genuinely impressed. Sarah Ragsdale is an actress who has been around for a long time that I don't think has got as much respect as she should have, based on some of the characters that she's played. Like, I mean, she plays probably one of the single funniest characters in Surrey Children. If you've never seen Surrey Children, she plays the character that does one of the single funniest things in the whole show.
Isn't she the one that oh, she's the one with the Texas sister?
Yes, that's her. But like, yeah.
Oh, that is the best character.
Yeah. But like, even then, like, she's like, I'm probably gonna get punched by Dragon Maid fans. She's probably one of the worst parts of Dragon Maid, unfortunately. But she also played
right, the girl with the forehead who's in love with Kana. Got it.
Yeah, but she also plays my girl Lalique in Mobile Suit Gundam. Also, I forgot to say this about Cassie's tone. I like that. I'm gonna go back to Cassie for a second. I like that Cassie could play two types of sexy, from pissing all by yourself, handsome in Mobile Suit Gundam, the Witch from Mercury, to the stoic sexy lady. Listen to me. You 100% know that Celica Dotary would ask you if you were pissing all by yourself, handsome.
Damn, boy, you frying chicken in there? Is what she would say.
Rest in peace, Matt Shipman's character. But no, just how she plays Shizuka is so endearingly cute. And she has to speak like an old-timey fairy tale book. And still make that sound adorable and sexy at times. And then do her own internal monologues. To which, good on Shizuka for being the first one to see Rentaro's dick.
Yeah, everybody else is like, oh, we're gonna spy on it. They do the persona gag, gender reversed for realsy, and through a series of shenanigans, she's the one who gets to see the dong first.
Congratulations, girl.
I like giraffe. But I like elf. But I like elephant more. That's the thing I like.
Also, we have to talk about one of the best lines of the narrator. It was at this moment Shizuka, lost in the chlorinated sea, realized she fluffed up.
She fluffed up is so good.
Yeah.
Also, just her little tiny baby screech.
Shizuka!
Yeah.
God, that's so good.
I love Shizuka. She's the best character, and I don't think any other girl is gonna top her. The only
Nanomite top her.
No. Topping is not efficient.
No,
I also ship Nano and her because they're kind of like the closest two. But no, let's be real. Out of all of the ones who is secretly gonna top Rentaro, it's gonna be her.
You know what? I think you're right, because even the Kiss episode...
I gotta be real. I gotta be real with you. Of my tier list, I'm gonna do something here, and that is, I'm gonna determine who is a top and who is a bottom.
Oh, boy. All right.
Shizuka.
Let's
Shizuka. Shizuka, top. Karne,
right.
bottom. Nano, switch.
Nano being a switch attracts.
Hakari, bottom.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, here's the problem with that though. Are the bisexuals both bottoms? How does anything get done between them?
Well, you see, it's called a double-sided dildo.
Fair.
Kurisu, switch. Mommy milkers, bottom.
Really? Mommy milkers bottom?
She would try to out-bottom her own daughter.
I believe you.
Anyway, if any of you guys would like to talk about the best girl.
Yeah, I liked her as Shizuka. Like you're saying, did a really good job of making the characters sound very cutesy and adorable, and definitely like how she had a lot of delivery with all the speaking lines from random book quotes. To which I really do appreciate how well the show manages to land that particular bit. Because it allows her to just get some really good line reads, like we mentioned the whole bit where oh, I like to lash, but I really but I'm really into elephants. Or the bit in episode 4 where she's where she's first kind of discovered that the others are more to kiss Rentaro, and instead of just saying kiss, she's oh, so you're telling me you have already started bussing? It's what the heck is bussing?
I like the fact that there's she's kind of has to figure out the words from the words available to her quite literally, and that leads to some fun scenarios. I do like when she's spinning around in the inner tube and she's just pray, help me. Pray, help me.
Help me. Pray, help me.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I also like the bit when she's first introduced and Rentaro assumes that oh she must be using sign language or something, and Rentaro tries to do charades or something, and then she with the text happens, it's wait, why are you doing this? Why aren't you talking?
It's wait, what are you doing? It's oh, okay, you just don't like talking. Which, as an aside, it is genuinely I think it is not a joke to say that 100 Girlfriends has really good episodes. It's a really good show that we enjoy. Even for a show that is not ridiculous and silly and called 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Episode 3 is just a genuinely good, touching, romantic anime episode. And legitimately, Megan is right. That is one of the most romantic things I have ever seen. And it's in the show called 100 Girlfriends. That's fucking romance. That is peak romance. I wish I could be as romantic as that.
What's stopping you,
I wish I could
pussy?
be that good. I wish I could be that good. My own flesh and mortality is what's stopping me from being that good. If I transcended humanity, maybe I could be as good a man as Rentaro Aijo. And that's how I put on the Dio mask and became a vampire.
So there's the 1,000-year-old vampire lolly.
All right. I'm going to give you that. Anyways, legitimately, that is a touching romantic episode, and legitimately, Sarah Ragsdale plays, the text speech stuff really good, but also her inner monologue is, genuinely... There is clear emotion and, anguish and heartfelt love and care put into all that. The little tiny, squeaks and shrieks and tenderness that she shows. The little soft but passionate kisses. We talked about infantilization. Shizuka is not infantilized and should not be infantilized, even though she is a small, precious little cinnamon roll. She is not a baby. Kusari is. That's kind of the problem. No, Shizuka is just a short little girl that knows what she wants, and yeah, no, she's gotta go for it. She just needs to be honest with herself, and that's why it's touching when the other girls are encouraging her to actually be honest with herself and go for it, because Rentaro loves you, and you should love him too. And we're all in this together.
I love High School Screwsicle.
I feel like Karane would be Zach in that scenario. I'm not sure. Just something about that in my heart. I feel that. Anyways, any other thoughts on Shizuka? Because Shizuka is just legitimately
Let the other guys talk about them too.
Sorry.
I mean,
Yeah.
I already said what I needed to, so Jamal.
I barely said anything at all.
Sorry, legitimately sorry.
Yeah, dude, you gotta learn skill back at times. Seto though, it is a voice I've heard before because I appreciate what she does, this little sing-songy type of voice that I usually see her doing other shows. But hearing her speak through text-to-speech app was pretty interesting. It kind of reminded me of, I forget her name, but there's a character in Senryu Girl, and she has a little voice, but she speaks to artwork she draws. And kind of
I know the character you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, and so I thought it was pretty neat. The only real difference was, I guess, she's unable to speak with him. I think she must have been traumatized at some point. Like, if she's really unable to speak with her mouth and only speaks through words of her favorite book.
There's a genuine possibility that is a bit of that.
Yeah, so I think, I haven't been put into this kind of scenario. It's starting to open up maybe a few things. Of course, it's gonna take some time.
But it's also clear that, like, Rentaro doesn't even judge her for it either, and he doesn't try to be like, you need to be honest and speak with your heart. It's like, no, he tries to help her communicate in a way that's her, and she's comfortable.
Exactly, to each their own, and Rentaro appreciates that. Sarah wasn't really someone I expected, but after both of you, I'm not too surprised. I really do enjoy Shizuka as a character. And Sarah really brought out the best of her to her abilities. Now, please cast her in the Guild Receptionist anime. I really want to hear Guild Girl from Goblin Slayer go unhinged.
That may or may not be dated. We'll find out. Anyways, you know what? Jamal, would you like to start us off and talk about the best little Soon that's ever dared?
Yes. I don't get to talk about Aerogram that often. As a matter of fact, I think the only time I ever talked about her was Hanabado because a certain someone wouldn't let me talk about it in Hinamatsuri. I enjoyed Ariel as this character because because Kane is always a bit, soon, and then when you see the dairy, it's like, man, it's just off the walls. Especially when at one point when she suplexed Rentaro, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, there's unhinged.
He likes it. He literally opens up and says, "Don't worry, I like it when you're rough." And like, oh, that's a freak fly. That's like your freak flag fly.
I mean, there's unhinged, and then there's unhinged, and she was very spectacular. It's just like I said earlier with the script writing. My little nitpick is with the show itself, because when not only when you write for like two characters that are on screen at the same time, but when you have to speak very rapidly, you're trying to make out the dialogue. Like the first time I understood it very well. The second time it was tough trying to get through it, but excuse me. But Ariel as Kanye was very, very neat and very surprising, and I know she's in more stuff, but there's some of those are the stuff I don't really watch, but I would like to see more of Ariel Graham.
All right, Jit.
I liked Ariel here. I haven't gotten to talk about her in a lot of things, but I thought she really funny here. I definitely did a really good job just getting the very loud tsundere energy across. I thought a lot of her line delivery was really funny. I can imagine a scenario where all the constant shouting would get really annoying after a while, but she did a really good job of just getting the right amount of energy for it, and I really do appreciate just how gruff and kind of laid back she's able to make Kaede sound, and I thought it made for a really good contrast to all the other girls. I thought she probably sounded the most distinct, which really helped a lot. And and it also helped that she also gets some of the best. She also gets some of the best line deliveries. This like the whole bit where she's threatening like the whole bit where she's threatening Haru. So I don't know.
Oh no, I wasn't sure if you were talking about the same one I was going to bring up. I was gonna say one of my favorite line deliveries from her is, I'm just cold. I'm just freezing my nuts off over here.
Yeah, that's the best one.
No, I gotta talk about one of my favorite cruisery ones, and it's in the background, so you can't hear it very much, and I had to actually look it up, so I made sure I hear this right. And it's when Hakari runs away because her mom's gonna try to make her break up with Rentaro, and Kusuri's like, maybe she had to pee. She ain't you, okay? Hey, but everybody pees, not just Kusuri. What are you trying to say, huh? Yep. Does that mean Karane doesn't pee? That's Nano. The probability is that she does pee is 99%. Karane, what's that last 1% supposed to mean, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch any of that. That's
also,
great.
I don't know what's going on in your smooth brain.
I think Kaede definitely gets, like, the best script lines. Because she gets to just say some very crazy shit.
I think she also says at one point, the only relationship she needs is with rehab.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just freezing my nuts off. I think, doesn't she also say no to degeneracy?
I think so.
I think that was Rentaro. Which is very funny.
Oh yeah. I'll snap your neck faster than you can say tax evasion.
Yeah.
Yeah! I love my little tsundere communist so much!
Seize the means of emotions.
It's not like I want to seize the means of production or anything, baka.
That's but the thing I also really do, but as good as a comedic delivery is, I think I also like about Kaede and to an extent Ariel's performance is that she's also just kind of like, that she's also somehow one of the characters who is the most supportive of the other girls. Like when she sees she's kind of holding back at Retro, she's the first one to call it out, and I thought that whole bit was surprisingly sweet. And then when everything's going down with Hakari, she's like quick to come to her defense, and that's really nice considering she's a tsundere character. I thought that whole balance here was really sweet.
She's my best friend.
In any other show, you would think, yeah, she would champion her rivals being out of the way, but no, she's the first one to call to action and help others out and tell them to be honest with their feelings. Which is hilarious that the tsundere is telling everybody to be honest with their feelings. Also, I really want her and Rentaro to fuck. Look, I know it's a foregone conclusion, but, like, not every girlfriend do I want him and Rentaro to fuck. I want Rentaro to fuck her real good.
Fuck her softly.
Fuck her like, I could say the same for Hakari, but let's face it, that's already happened.
Okay, so, like, am I good to go? Has everybody else gone? Should I go now?
Floor's yours right now.
Ariel Graham really surprised me. I was not familiar with your game. My bad. In the eternal words of Shaq. I think the thing that really sold me on her as a character, on Karane as a character, is that, yeah, she does the tsundere stuff, but the fact of it is that she genuinely cares enough about Rentaro, and that she cares more about the other girls, too. And I think Ariel gets that across in her tone really well when she's not yelling and she's being genuine. Alright, we gotta rip off this band-aid. Her and Hakari are gonna fuck before her and Rentaro.
Oh, 100%.
Like, to the point that when they were Kiss Raptors, first of all, one...
They had to pull them apart.
No. That she picks her up, spins her around, and launches her like a fucking shot hammer. into Rentaro to knock him down, and then they're taking their turns and making out, and then they're fighting with each other for who goes next. It's like, aw, even when they're zombies, they're having such a lover's quarrel. And he just takes them and pushes them together and stares at it.
He's just like, let's see what happens. And the answer is sparks fly.
And again, yeah, they have to get pulled off. And I love at the end, it's like I don't know what's going on in your smooth brain about having amnesia. I remember fucking, oh god. It's like Anton Ego getting the flashback in Ratatouille.
God.
Could you imagine Anton Ego getting a flashback to a gay rat wedding?
I just want you to know it is insane to mention that it was mentioned by one Nick Dupree himself. There is more on-screen girl kissing in 100 Girlfriends than most Yuri anime, period.
Which is kind of sad.
It's a little sad, but it is kind of impressive in and of itself.
It's one of those it's one of those confusing boners.
It's a very confusing
It's a
boner.
guilt is guilt boner?
Yes. Also, if I might be so bold for a second, I would like to say, holy shit, Ariel Graham is just chewing that fucking golden ham like it's nobody's business. Oh my god. I like her stuff and other things, but I definitely wanted like a real showstopper performance to really get her noticed. And this is a showstopper performance. To me, Ariel Graham as Karne is probably like my favorite performance in the dub. Straight up.
Yeah, she's if Sarah wasn't mine, it would probably be. I would honestly, yeah, I kind of have to agree that I put her and Karne on the same level, actually.
I think they're really, really close because she's got the fun little tropes. There's actually a good bit of communication for each other. Like, Rentaro is actually good for somebody like her, and he is patient and willing to let her open up without pushing her too hard.
Okay, thank you for saying something, because I almost forgot about it, and I really wanted to talk about this as something in the show.
Ooh, do tell.
I cannot believe a show called The 100 Girlfriends That Really, 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 Really Love You had one of the most body-positive moments I've seen in an anime. And that is when they go to the pool and Karne feels really ashamed about being in a two-piece bikini. And it's because at the point in time, Shizuka is Shizuka and she is small and cute. But if you look at Karne compared to, Nano and Hakari, they have tiggle bitties. And she is very flat. In fact, there's a joke later on, I think in episode 8, that when they're at the bouquet toss thing and Shizuka somehow gets up in the air and then falls and she bounces off everybody's boobs. It's literally like a sequence at a fucking airplane. She goes, thank God, to the girl, like, thank you for, which, that's another gag I didn't particularly care for. She thanks her because, she wasn't there to get ashamed about her small boobs. But, Rentaro pulls her towel down and exposes her body, and she's talking about how she doesn't feel comfortable because Hakari and Nano are bigger than her. Rentaro basically is like, yeah, but you have an actual high school body. Like, you're not normal for not having big boobs. They have really big, like, not normal boob size, and you do, like, you have a normal high school girl's body, and I think it's attractive. And I am attracted to the way that you look regardless. Can you not feel how how fast my heart is beating looking at you? Like, you do not need to be ashamed about your figure. You are perfect the way you are and the way that you look. And it's a genuinely heartfelt moment, again, in a show called The 100 Fucking Girlfriends.
And it's romantic, and it's passionate, and, like, you can feel the kiss embrace. And the reality is, Karne's got other assets that, like, the other girls don't have, which, believe me, the whole tummy thing, that is definitely something that awoke in Rentaro. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I would like to point out the one thing that was apparently cut from the anime, she eats out his belly button.
You know what? I'm okay with that, because that's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the thing that's, like, legitimately, that is like, oh, yo, you are going freak nasty.
God damn
like,
it, Nick. Rest in peace. That's a good one.
This was literally linked in the episode review from 100 Girlfriends, was the tweet, last image in your camera roll is what killed Henry Kissinger, and it's Kaede going down on Rentaro's belly button. And you know what? That man was one of the funniest motherfuckers on Annie Twitter, and he is goddamn missed.
Nick, I hope you're pissing on Kissinger in heaven.
I hope you're pissing on Kissinger.
I hope you and Bourdain are bumping fists as you drop trow, whip it out, and piss on Kissinger.
Mm-hmm.
This is genuinely one of the most emotional episodes I've ever done. And I say that slightly as a bit, but also slightly not. Yeah. Legitimately, though, Ariel Graham is, like, my favorite performance of the dub, because she's definitely very loud, erratic, and frantic, but I do love how sweet and vulnerable she gets to be with her feelings, even though she is a loud, boisterous tsundere, but also the passion is there, the genuine emotion is there, she's really funny, and also it's really hot, too.
You know how Frieren kind of bolted Mallory Rodick and Jordan Dash Cruz into a lot of people's minds?
The people need to be aware about Ariel Graham for this show alone.
And Sarah Wiedenhef. Not Sarah Wiedenhef. My bad. People know who Sarah Wiedenhef is.
We'll get to Sarah Wiedenhef.
I was gonna say Sarah Ragsdale.
Fair point.
Anyway, I'm done if we want to move on.
So I will say Kaede Inda is slightly higher than Shizuka on the technical ring, but they are both pretty close to the top for me right now.
Yeah. I do want to say, before we move on, can I go first for Hakari? I do want to make a very specific point.
Go for it.
So I'm going to say this, and I feel like you guys will probably understand what I'm saying immediately. And hear me out. Hakari is the good version of Duvia.
Is the good version of... Oh, my man's cooking right now. Let's go. That skillet is yours.
Okay, so full disclosure, I have a very, I have a kind of weird love-hate relationship with a lot of fairy tale. And it's like, and one of those elements in particular is the character of Juvia. Particularly the whole, weird, specifically how the whole jokes surrounding her is just this weird constant obsession with Grey, which I feel could have worked if that was not, the entirety of her character, but it is for, whatever reason, even after the point where it no longer should be. And it's to the point where every other relationship she has with any other character just gets downplayed for some reason, and her and Grey have, no real romantic chemistry because she's obsessing him to the point where the two of them being together just does not feel believable, and it's really frustrating. And I can definitely... and Hakari feels like a character that should have those problems, but somehow doesn't. Now, particularly for a few reasons. Firstly, I feel like, unlike Juvia, who is just kind of throwing herself at Grey at every opportunity, Hakari does at least very, very badly attempt to hide how much of a freak she is, which, again, she's not doing a particularly great job at that, but the fact that she does at least attempt to do so makes her whole bit actually funny. Secondly, unlike Juvia, who is weirdly antagonistic towards all the other girls, even though it doesn't really make any sense, Hakari also does not have that problem. She's actually generally supportive of the other girls, not quite as much as Kaede, but she's pretty quick to support the other girls, which I thought was really surprisingly sweet. And also, just in general, Sarah's comedic delivery is just really, really, really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Bakari's a character I ended up enjoying a lot more than I would have expected to, but I felt I actually thought her whole bit was a lot funnier than it really should have been, but it mostly worked.
I'd also imagine getting to share a significant other with her mother means she has to mentally cool down as a result.
Yeah, that's the other thing I appreciate. Like, literally with all the other girlfriends, like Hakori, just kind of mostly shrugs it off. Like, her mother is literally the one time you see her freak out about that.
Mom, no. Down, girl. Down. God, it's so good. And yeah, Sarah Wiedenheft, like, I will say, I was kind of expecting Sarah to be more like a Kaede character than I was her Hakori, but it's so funny that the horny, down atrocious princess who's trying really badly to hide how down bad she is a really good bit. But also, by God, those fucking thighs, girl. Goddamn. It ain't even the tits it's about. It's the fucking creamy thighs with the mole on it. Good God. And Sarah Wiedenheft is really fucking funny. God damn, she's really funny. I also love where it's like... I love where she gets the chance to tickle him, and she's like, "Oh, happy days! Woo! Woo! Yeah, baby!" Like, oh my God. It's ridiculous. Which makes it all the more ridiculous. She has genuine, dramatic, emotional moments that hit and work. This should not work. This kind of character having genuinely emotional, tragic moments that work is ridiculous. Somehow it works. And goddamn is Sarah really goddamn good as Hakori. Jamal, you want to go?
Yeah. It's funny because up till now, I would say I haven't heard Sarah play characters like this before. The weirdest thing is, this was the most sensual I've ever heard her play a high school character as, because it's like what is it exactly am I watching here? Because you see Sarah try to be so charming, so demure and stuff, especially with the episode with the first kiss, when they tried to do the first kiss and eventually
the Machiavellian scheme was so good.
I always refer to when went to accidentally touch her boobs trying to sneak a first kiss, and then it's like the way Sarah talks was nothing I've ever heard her do before, to be honest. And then you see the whole schema thing where she's just trying to sneak something out of interval, and she just gets excited to be tickled, and it's like, yep, there's the Sarah I know. But yeah, to say that her range in the show is dynamic is very understated, because she goes to the extreme when it comes to portraying Hakori's character, going from lovey-dovey to demure to dramatic to saying the quiet part out loud and all them. It's for me, it's kind of hard to put in the words, but she did a very good job as Hakori, and there's no denying that. And for what it's worth, she really deserves her flowers in this show. She also
100%.
She also deserves her flowers in another show, but I can't wait to speak about that yet. So,
touche. Yeah, the next couple of months is very much when do I show my cards and when do I hold my cards, for reasons some of you may or may not find out about soon.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
First of all, I just want to say something. Damn you, James Beckett, for showing me a hot leopard woman in a bad anime. Second.
What?
Go to Blue Sky.
All right, I'll look.
Second. I like Sarah Wiedenheft a lot. By and large, I would say Sarah Wiedenheft is the biggest name on the show. If you were asking people to name other things that these people could do, that these people have been in, I think she would be the one that you would know. Everybody would know the best. And she just proves why she's really good at her job. It's like Jamal said, it's sensual, it's horny, it's funny, it's genuinely touching. I'm sorry, her reaction to finding out that the thing would, the potion that would make her hotter
Oh.
And she thinks it's just gonna, like, Proton John bigger her by giving her a bigger ass and bigger boobs.
Oh,
and
that
then
was
it
so
melts her
cursed.
clothes off. And it's just like, nothing's hotter than your birthday suit. Ah! And her princess speeching. Her, like, I am very, like, it's not the same way as Shizuko, but you can tell she's trying. She is the Ojo-sama character taken to the upmost, like, level. Or at least, like, the rich pink-haired girl taken up to the utmost level. I feel like there's another character that's hinted at the end of the season, the blonde girl might be the Ojo character, because it, like, hints at other girls coming up in the teaser at the end of episode 12. But Sarah, during the arc where her mom is gonna send her off to boarding school because she's got a 5-timing boyfriend, and she's gonna jump out the window and kill herself because, and then she falls in the pond. It's just so good. It's just so, and like, she is one of the people who is also eating the ham as she's going along. That girl is so down bad that if she was down any lower, I'm pretty sure they'd find her in the center of the earth.
She could probably melt through the center of the earth with her own excrement.
That girl is gonna go down so hard on Rentaro, I'm afraid his dick is gonna, like, Junji Ito out the back of her head.
What the fucking image? Oh, I was just gonna make, like, that's gonna be the sloppiest topping you've ever seen. And you're like, oh, it's just gonna Uzumaki out her fucking skull. No biggie.
Hey, Andrew, you want me to make it worse?
No, please.
You know what? Yes. We're already here. We already have to sit here and stew in it.
I like how Jamal's like, please don't. Jamal, take off your headphones. Jamal, you're saved from this. Jed, if you would like to save yourself too, you can take off your headphones.
No, we're in this together.
My headphones
family?
off, but I can still
Because
hear
we're
you
family.
regardless.
Because we're
Okay.
family. The
Andrew,
Dumb Talk family.
Andrew, she's gonna give him the Uzukamis.
I'm on if you're watching this. Womp womp.
You can put your headphones back in now.
You know what, Megan? You are very brave for saying that. You are very brave. Everybody should know that you said that, including fellow Patreon supporters Megan's mom and dad.
You don't think they can hear me with how loud I am with headphones on? Anyway.
You're gonna have to explain to your mom which character in JoJo is named Uzukamis. Have fun.
It's clearly young Joseph.
Damn, she got a point. Sarah,
You know who
that's really good.
I was gonna say, you know who got the sloppiest toppy in JoJo's?
Polnareff?
No, Caesar.
Oh. That makes me sad.
Da 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 da. He even had cum bubbles.
Rentaro Ijo. You know what? Rentaro Ijo is the only man worthy of Jolene Kujo. Jotaro Kujo would approve.
Listen, okay, man, the moment you said worthy really goes something into my mind.
We're already here, man. The door's already on fire. We're already burning. Hit me.
Rentaro Ijo is truly worthy of my grace.
Oh.
Dicks out for Rentaro Ijo.
And with
Oh, man.
that's the perfect segue.
Rentaro Ijo could get the Ava Unit 1 to love him.
I think Rentaro
Or
Ijo...
Unit 2.
I think Rentaro Ijo could actually fix Gendo.
Rentaro Ijo could fix Gendo and his issues.
I mean, if they locked eyes, maybe, but...
Rentaro Ijo could fix whatever the fuck is wrong with Misato.
Oh God, he would. Oh, he actually would fix Masato.
Question: If Rentaro Aijo locks eyes with Ava Unit 2, does that count?
Maybe. Remember, it's not gay, it's Shinji's mom. That's how it works.
He's not even here! Leave my boyfriend out of this!
Okay, look. I like to talk about great men. Your boyfriend is a great man. I'd like to think I am a great man. Jet, you're a great man. Jamal, you're a great man. We are lowly, fucking piss peasants compared to Rentaro motherfucker Aijo. And yes, the motherfucker is literal here.
I will take that back. You can't say that about Patrick, because Patrick is the most Rentaro Aijo of us all.
Okay, you know what?
I'm gonna stop. You gave me the launch pad for the joke. I did not take the shot. Megan.
Do a flip, pussy.
Okay, so what you're saying is Patrick's gonna fuck your mom now.
Which one?
Dealer's choice?
That's the great thing about being adopted. You can't your mom me because I can just put that back on you and you're gonna feel so dirty and sad. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. One of my moms gave me up. Ooh, your mom. You know, I have an Uno reverse card I can pull out of my pocket pussy at any time.
This is the exact energy I needed for this episode. Thank you. Rentaro Aijo, Travis Molinet. Travis Molinet is somebody who I heard in like a couple of dubs that I was like, he's really good at these. This guy definitely needs a lot more recognition and credit. And my god, Travis is so fucking funny. He's really funny, he's really romantic, he's absurd, he's loud and ridiculous and Travis is a perfect Rentaro Aijo. I know I said Ariel Graham is probably my favorite performance in the dub. It's like splitting hairs between her and Travis Molinet because, my god, Travis is excellent. He is definitely somebody who I'm glad is getting more recognition and deserves more recognition because he's a perfect, like, rom-com, ridiculous, romantic lead. He's a good, funny actor. He's a really good dramatic actor. He's a really good fucking lady killer romantic, too. Hats off to you, Travis. Getting the role of a lifetime to play the best of men among us. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, who also wants to suck Rentaro Aijo's dick? Who wants to step up and suck his dick and volunteer as tribute first?
I guess I'll go.
Megan, you volunteer as tribute.
You know what? Like, I genuinely believe that, like I said about Ariel, Travis needs to have his Frieren, his apothecary. He is really great in this role. He is funny. He is on top of it. He is over the wall. He brings the energy to every single moment and every single minute of this show. You 100% believe the amount of charisma and charm that oozes off of Rentaro, but you also can tell that he also has that pain there, and I've looked it up, and this series does address, the fact that Rentaro had been rejected 100 times. And I really can't wait to get to show off the chops for that, and just the dramatic moments of things, like when he is genuinely having those little moments of drama that peek through. And honestly, he's been around for a while, but if this was the year that someone was to say give a W for voice actor to watch, I could 100% see it. So with that being said, I forgot to talk about the fact that we didn't talk about Hakuri's dad being played by Drew Breedlove.
Oh yeah, he gets to be played by Drew Breedlove, who's the very he's a very good Megaru Bachira in Blue Lock. That's like what I most know him for.
And when he died, the only thing I typed in chat was, "Excuse me, I need to go. I need to be the most bottom of bottoms in a terribly animated soccer anime."
Ooh. God,
But no,
Megaru Bachira really is the ultimate bottom.
But also, looking at Travis's dude from Blue Lock, he makes me fear for my life. But no, like, dude's great, and I 100% believed. The thing about this is that much like another character much like the main character of Machine, a lot of the show's comedy and drama and heart relies on having the male lead not be a total piece of shit. Where he is kind of a bad person, but he's growing and has an arc. If Travis's performance wasn't so 100% genuine, this would fail as a dub.
100%. Like this sarcastic or like insincere.
If there was a level of cynicism onto the show, and that's something I'll talk about in the very end. And this goes for everybody. If anybody in this show acted in this show with a level of cynicism towards it, it would fall apart completely. Jet or Jamal?
We can go for it, Jamal.
Yeah, Travis Bordix is the name I don't get to hear often. When I do, man, he does some great things. Because I will say, though, his Rentaro is... I mean, we talk about chewing the scenery a lot. This guy... Travis does a very great job at his Rentaro. And I think probably the moment that sold me is probably that the episode that might turn you off a little is when he's introduced to Kusuri and he's trying to confess his feelings for her by vomiting up the love potion he accidentally drank. At one point, you see him convulsing on the ground. He was doing the Michael Jackson pose. It's like learned through a comment once.
You know, he does do that, doesn't he?
Yeah, but also the scene where they get magnetized together and he utters the line, "Oh no, your golden warmth is awakening something in me." I just bursted out laughing. I'm like, yeah, this guy's definitely got the chops because, I mean, you got the best of best characters, but if your leading man ain't up to snuff, you know, everything, like Megan says, the dub will just fall apart. And Travis did a very good job as his character. Not you don't get to see him in lead role often. Hell, I don't even get to see him in many shows often. I mean, I still remember like the first time I watched him in something was as a little green haired dude you'd seldom see in Psyche K. And that was a long time ago. And since then, I knew Travis was gonna be inspire greatness, achieve greatness, and here we are. We're at that point now. Travis, buddy, you did a very good job as Rentaro, and I can't wait to see what you do in season 2. Bravo.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Jet?
Yeah, like you guys were saying, this show pretty much breathes and dies on how much you can buy into Rentaro as a character, and Travis really helps sell that. It's he's really funny. He's really good at he has a pretty good dramatic chops. Like Meg was saying, handling a lot of his previous heartbreaks. Also, really good at all the tender romantic moments. A thing that just works really surprisingly well is that we talked quite a bit about shipping the girls with each other, and that does hold true. But I think that does really surprisingly work about this show is that somehow, some way, Rentaro does actually have genuine chemistry with each and every one of these girls, which is a thing that absolutely should not work, and yet it does.
Usually they make these guys just a bitch baby motherfucker or a self-insert nothing man. No, Rentaro has a character, and the character is he is the best.
It's not even that he's the best. Like, we can joke about this all you want, and here's the thing. It's because Rentaro is empathetic.
Oh, 100%.
Rentaro knows what it's like to be rejected 100 times, and here's the thing. even the first girl that rejects him talks about how much of a good person he is. Like, he's helpful, he's kind, he's thoughtful. Like, one of the biggest things that Rentaro does, and I might have joked about, like, the biggest love is self-love, and that's the thing he does to the girls. He doesn't want them to change to be with him. It is that he wants them to be their authentic selves and to love themselves as much as they love him and the other ones and the other girls. It's not a thing about, there's no competition in the Rentaro family, not because it doesn't make for, like, not because the series doesn't want to have stakes or dramas. The stake is that if he doesn't love all these girls unconditionally, they fucking die. And that's the absurdist premise. But I honestly think that the show kind of works as a vehicle for the idea of, this is one person that everybody, like, even if they weren't romantic and forced to be romantic, the idea that Rentaro can serve as that one person who will unconditionally love them platonically for the person that they are, regardless of how quirky, weird, out there they are. And yeah, are some of these just, like, exaggerated tropes to the nth degree for comedy? Yes, but there's also a very clear underlying heart that the author of the series gets. And I know a lot of people are going to be very shocked for me to compare this, but if you don't know, I did the episode for Girlfriend, and I didn't like Girlfriend. And a lot of the reason I didn't like Girlfriend was, one, I didn't like the main character. I thought he was a selfish asshole. I found the premise of it starting that it started on the basis of cheating and lying. That Girlfriend starts by the main character basically dogging a girl down for years, finally dating her, and then immediately meeting another girl, going on a date with her behind his girlfriend's back for a day, introducing her, and then going, oh yeah, I want to date the both of you and you're both gonna like it, basically. But even here, Rentaro thinks about two-timing them. And he immediately keeps himself up all night and beats himself up physically for it because he understands what it's like to be that person. And it's such a thing that I'm sorry to soapbox and be serious on the 100 Girlfriends episode where I'm talking about pulling an Uno card out of a pocket pussy.
No, this is great. Keep going.
It says a lot that this show is so popular. It has a empathetic, kind-hearted, like, let's be real, Rentaro's about as subtle as a brick through your window. But he is a male character that a lot of people call a Chad, but he's so unlike any of the other characters that any Twitter, any Ski, any Reddit props up as a Chad. Like, when you talk about people talking about the Chad, like the lead dude from Solo Leveling, who is a nihilistic, self-centered trauma murderer, or Naofumi, who's a slaver, or Rudius, who's a pedophilic serial cheater. Like, it is so interesting to me as somebody who is not the intended audience for this show, and not the intended audience for a lot of other anime that comes out, that people put this character, who in a lot of senses has very shoujo level qualities to his character, on the same pedestal that they put slavers to. And that fascinates me and horrifies me as an anime fan.
This is a heck of an episode, my goodness. So yeah.
It's at that moment everybody remembered that Megan has a bachelor's degree in media studies.
Oh yeah, no, here's the thing. Media criticism is something, like, we make jokes, we talk about this bullshit. This is legitimately stuff that I like fascinating, and I like discussing the deeper side of this. And I think there is value to the analysis of this stuff while also making jokes. And that's what I love doing about Dub Talk. That's why this is so fun.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if I talked over anyone's point, so I apologize.
No,
You're
good.
fine.
You're
good, dude. If anything, I think this is a perfect segue to the final thoughts in that I really liked this dub. I had a lot of fun with this dub. This is a ridiculous, absurd premise, and it's a ridiculous, absurd show. But it has heart, and the dub and the performances have just as much heart when it needs to, and it also knows when it needs to be absurd and ridiculous and crazy. We didn't even mention Fly, you fools, when she's getting licked by the dog, and she pulls out the fucking Gandalf Fly, you fools. It's so much. That was so good. I really like this dub. I really like the show. I cannot wait for season 2. I'm glad I can talk about this. Jamal.
Yeah, this dub is spectacular. The show itself is wacky and wild, even beyond your wildest dreams. I really like what Helena, Kevin, and Macy put together with this show, and the ragtag crew, the ragtag cast they came up with is a lot of small names or people that are more prominent elsewhere that you don't get to see in shows together. That once you bring them in, it is guaranteed to be a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Has Jet gone?
Jet?
Yeah, I really enjoy the show. It's a really wild comedy type, like I mentioned before, just like real bizarre sense of escalation, but it's really entertaining, and it somehow manages to be surprisingly sweet in places, and a lot more genuine than it really has any right to be. It's a show that absolutely should not work, and yet somehow it does, and the dub does a really good job of reflecting that. The performances are really funny. Everyone has some really good comedic timing. And they're able to balance all that out with some pretty good dramatic beats and some really good romantic, just heart-thumping moments. It's it's a real good time all around, and it's a really fun show.
Well said.
So I'll get my shitpost thing out of the way first, and then I'll talk about my genuine things. To the ladies of this show, I just want to let you know that there's a loophole in the scripture, and it worked really well, so you can get Rentaro off without going to hell. It's your Hail Mary, full of grace. In Jesus' name, go to 5th base. Remember that you were made holy, and that you have lots of holes to choose from. And since you're not godless whores, Rentaro can come in the back door. Therefore, let him fuck you in the ass because you love Jesus. The good Lord would want it that way. Give yourself that sweet sensation of a throbbing rationalization, because just between you and me, everyone knows it's the door that the gods can't see. Anyway, like Jet said, this is a show that shouldn't work, nor is this a show that I expected to thoroughly enjoy and be excited about a second season for. I also, after, reciting the lyrics to the song about anal sex, genuinely want to talk and give thanks to Nicholas Dupree for this. I would have also never checked this out had he not been so passionate about it. And his loss to the anime community is genuinely awful, and I wish he could be here to see season 2. But Lord knows he's got the perfect adaptation up there to watch endlessly on repeat. Also, he doesn't have to deal with Harmony Gold.
Yeah, I hope he's enjoying as much background as he can up there.
Right.
But in terms of the dub, like, hey, Helena Wastrom's really good at her job. Macy and Johnson's really good at her job. The actors are really great. Like, we have an award show coming up, and there was a point where I was watching this where I was like, this is in the shortlist. I did not expect that. And I've started watching a couple of other shows that are comedies, and they don't have that zing. They don't have that polish yet. They're a little more rougher on the edges. Something about this show came out as smooth and shiny as a pair of Hakuri's boobs.
Well said. And with that, I think it's about time we call this a night. So,
Did you do your final thoughts?
I think he went first.
I basically just did my final thoughts,
Yeah.
and that this is a really good show. It's a really good dub. I had a wonderful time with it. I'm happy I could talk about it with you tonight. And yeah, definitely give 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you a shot if you haven't already. I got one more of those in there. And if you would like to listen to more of us, we are the Dub Talk Podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in anime and English dubs. If you would like to listen to our stuff, you can find us over on our YouTube channel to watch our YouTube video podcast versions of the show. We also have audio formats on platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. If you would like to support us, you can give us a one-time Ko-fi donation, or you could become a regular supporter and get your name written off. You can get your name read on the show, like one of these wonderful people, if you go and support us on the Patreon. And we want to give a thank you to our $5 tiers, Bright Eyes 505, Crimson Echidna, Just Two, Quinoa Soup, Marissa Lenti, Megan's mom and dad, thank you Megan's mom and dad, and Michelle Travis. And to our $10 tiers, Anthony Brown, Carly Lestical, Julia W., Otaku Anthony, and Pika Greg. We all thank you for your continued support of us. This is always a pleasure. This is something we adore doing, have a lot of passion for, and just, yeah, no, thanks for continuing to listen to us after all these years. So yeah, my name is Andrew, aka Classy Spartan. You can find me on Blue Sky at classyspartan.bluesky.social. And I am a member of the Dub Talk Podcast, where I talk about the latest and greatest in anime and English dubs. And I'm also on Surreal Resolutions podcast O&A with fellow co-host Chet. Chet, what do you do? Where can the people find you?
So you can usually find me over on Blue Sky at Zero Infinity, where I'll usually just be talking about anime news, manga news, or I guess just politics, or I guess whatever's going on. It's a pretty okay time. Like Andrew said, you can also find me on another Podcast O-Day, where we usually shoot the breeze about anime news. You can also find me on my blog, Nerdy Abyss, where I will sometimes write things about whatever Shonen Jump stuff I'm reading. And you can also find me doing freelance reviews on A&N and occasionally doing some seasonal stuff. This season, and I guess I can say this because this episode will obviously be out by the time all that's settled. This season, I'll be covering Sakamoto Days, Medalist, and more Drunken Ball Time Up, so I guess read those if you get the chance.
Well said. Oh, also, I forgot to plug my lovely partner on their new Twitch stream, Lilac Anime Review, spelled Revue. At the time of this recording, she's currently playing Fire Emblem and Kingdom Hearts Final Mix.
When you walk away.
God, Rentaro Aijo would sing all of the Kingdom Hearts songs to win over a girl. All right, Jamal.
Yeah, it can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Jamstar529. I'm the assistant editor for the podcast. I know I've been talking about doing solo podcasting, but life has gotten in the way, unfortunately. Yeah. I can be found on YouTube also at Jamstar1. Jamstar1. So I would say this is going to be a fun episode to watch. And
Nice. All right, Megan?
Hi, you can follow me. I think the 2 is gone on Blue Sky. I think it's just Queen Era on Blue Sky. Yeah, it's you can just follow me at queenera.bsky.social. That's the only place I'm at now. I've abandoned the shitty Nazis app. So
it exists for promotion. We use it for promotion. That's all I use it for now.
yeah. So If you want to follow me, just follow me there. I retweet art, I shitpost. You might hear about my Final Fantasy 14 characters every so often. So yeah. Also, please follow my partner, Roots of Justice. He's a good boy. The best boy in the world.
Almost as good as Rentaro Joe.
I'm gonna break into your apartment.
Alright. And with that, I think it is a night. There is a lot of fluids on the floor that have just gotten all over the place. We don't know how it happened. I think some...
Andrew, I thought Steph House trained you.
Andrew.
What?
Didn't you forget something?
Yes. If you would like to watch 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You, you can find the sub and dub over on Crunchyroll. And if you would like, the home video release is coming out in a couple of months at the time of this recording, because physical media is really good in a time where the streaming market is a little more less
Shit show.
Little bit of a shit show. So yes, physical release of 100 Girlfriends will be out on Blu-ray. So yeah, if you would like to keep all those girls close to your heart and to your shelf, you can go buy that really soon. Alright. Now we have a lot of fluids to clean up. And they are not mine, despite what Megan says, just saying.
No, it's yours.
God. Look, I got very excited, okay? There's a lot
Andrew, why is it sticky? Why is the Blu-ray sticky?
Good night, everybody, and Otaku on.
Keep on friending.
Andrew, your dick is not the DVD player.
So
Those girls are gonna...
Those
girls are gonna fuck like rabbits.
So what's the eject button for then?
And stopping.